Master Grade Star Build Strike Gundam. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs, 2Bs, gundam.tk, and Iori is finished building the Master Grade Universe Booster, and you can see the unbox, and it has a standalone vehicle looking pretty sharp up here. It can look even sharper if you've actually got the clear red parts in there, and you're using the gates either separate or attached on. But of course, even though it is a standalone vehicle, the whole idea of buying this is to make the Master Grade Star Build Strike, and you can take that regular build booster and retire it, and let's see how this guy's going to be looking in white with a whole lot of effects. With the gate and the booster there, you're going to be getting different types of wings, some leg parts, a cool shield, a new weapon variation, and all of that is going to be able to be added on. And don't forget to buy this kit and lots more. Don't forget to check out the good folks at HobbyLink Japan. There's links below in the description. So how about this for the wings? Well, first of all, they're going to be looking pretty good, and they're decently light, and that's for a pretty good reason. First, I'll show you these ones. So what are you going to be getting? Well, you have main plastic parts, and they're going to be chunked out there. Overall, they're pretty large, and a few pieces go into making them. And you'll notice that they can split this way. They can also split over here, and how about this? And you can also twist them at these points, so you've got some pretty cool 3D options with these, setting themselves apart from Gundam Wing, definitely. So you have these parts at the bottom. These are going to be very thin. You've seen them before with the Destiny Gundam when it's going full-on Angry Blast, but I thought this was sort of a neat touch. You'll notice that these are going to be exactly the same, so if you do not want to open or twist them, you just have the option of putting on this solid wing piece here, and otherwise you've got the options of splitting, twisting, and opening and having some fun with that. It's great that they give it to you. It's just I wish there was a way that you could sort of incorporate both onto the kit instead of just bagging one in the Ziploc that's already holding a million attachment pieces. There's going to be 6 parts that you attach onto the body, 3 on either side. So these ones are going to be attached onto the shoulder. You'll notice that the thin part here is quite large. The actual plastic attachment piece is pretty small at the bottom. And the boosters, the thrusters, they can have some blue blasting out at the bottom. So it's pretty cool, but of course your eyes are going to go to these monster wings, exactly as they should. The body has a straightforward transformation, just a little hard to do in practice. There's these 2 slots over on the side that people who have been building strikes for years are familiar with. I had to get my modeler's knife on to get that off. And then when you do that, you're going to have this nice little piece over here. Quite impressive in the build, simple, but you've got that clear red, more clear parts, always a good thing in my books. And you've got the gray, as you can see, that's going to be put in underneath and provide the attachments. And when you put it onto the side, this is making the strike look even sharper, especially when you combine it with his cool blue knees. The Build Strike Gundam already came with 3 options, small pistol, beam rifle, and then you've got this cool white one. And what are you going to do with the cool white one? Eject it. And then you're going to have a star one. On the face of it, may not be as exciting, but let's see how it works in practice once you get this attached in. He's already got weapon in hand here. And when I've got this weapon in my hands, I do come across as being a little bit indifferent to it. First of all, I do like the mix of the white and the gray, but overall this guy with his 6 green seals and tiger stripes up there on the top, at least they're going to be giving you 3 down here, but the front is not necessarily going to be looking all that intimidating or special, but it does have a play gimmick. So let's see how smoothly I can do this. As you bring this whole thing up, there's a nice little mechanism over there, and then once it's back, you're supposed to take this and that boring part there in the middle. Now you slide it forward to have something that looks, well, pretty unexciting, I've got to say. I'm probably going to go back to the original 3 options. Still, it is an interesting idea. Just could use a lot more colors and maybe some more seals. There's also more options with the shield, including a cool connector, but getting there is going to be a little bit annoying, I think you could say. So do you see this gray part down here at the bottom? Well, you've got to take that out, and then you get to put in this crazy bending version. But to do that, you've got to actually pop this off, get the gray parts out, put this back on, and then you're going to get to put this piece on the top. So it would have been nicer if they had figured out a way that you don't actually have to take apart your breakable gunpla. Yes, have your modeler's knives or your plate separators handy. Now I've got to say that this is probably one of the worst ideas that Bandai has ever had. They're telling you in the manual, hey, you know, before you put this together the first time, make sure you buy the Universe Booster and you build it up that way first. So why are they selling this as something? Or they just should give us a whole new shield. There's lots of ways they could have done it, but this is so easy to break when you're taking it off from these multiple attachment points. And what's the result? You've got this part, which looks good down here. You're going to take it off and put in something that's bent over, like some sort of elephant's nose, and it looks absolutely terrible unless you're going for the connection gimmick. So, for the vast majority, unless you want to break this, and unless you want to connect it onto the Star Build rifle, I just recommend keeping this one in here. But since it's already apart, and I'm lucky enough that nothing broke, and now you've got it, with Gonzo's nose here, and sealed back up, something I've got to laugh about is that it's going to be falling apart in your hands anyway, so you'd think, Bandai, you could have just added an add-on to the original one. Nonetheless, once you go and take this part, this is going to fit on rather nicely and add some needed depth to this shield. It's already got lots of colors, and the white, the gray, and the red. It's only going to get more fun here, because as they say, it's time to fan out. If you take one of these sides, you can open it up, and it'll open up the other side as well, to reveal some cool-looking gray parts in there. Line it up if you want, but this shield is looking pretty exciting. And remember, you do have this crazy old gas-pumping option over here. But with his knees transformed and the weapons finally taken care of, it's time to actually take the backpack, which whooshed out. You can just imagine some of the guys from Double Zeta helping out, delivering various parts to Judo. As you can take this part, plug that down, and then you're going to take these parts, bend them up. Remember, they do drop off at the drop of a hat here. But once they're actually going to be attached onto the Gundam and the cannon's positioned. So before he goes all Plavsky wings, here he is, the newest variation on the lead Gundam, the Star Build Gundam. I gotta say, overall, he's gonna be looking pretty good, but he's gonna be looking great, I'd say. Well, if you don't like wings on your Gundams, when he's on the rotating base, because you're gonna be seeing all the features and all that great stuff that's hidden in the back. However, if you're just looking at him straight on your shelf, I don't know if you're gonna be appreciating the extra depth for the shield there. This gray part underneath does nothing, and that gun, for me, is not as exciting as the original 3. But on the other hand, or leg, these leg parts, unless you've got them twisted too much back, are going to be adding some extra depth off to the sides, and the clear red, whenever you do see it, is a plus. I am really glad that they put that gray in the front, though, because the red can get lost. But the biggest plus, the whole backpack and all those clear red parts, they're going to be hidden in the back, except for the ones that swing over the shoulders. For whatever reason, this reminds me of something out of the F90 series. Just having the white with the gray hinges, the clear red there, and then getting rid of the yellow vents that we've seen all the way back to Amuro. Well, not so much on this guy, but you get the idea. Having them with that nice solid gray with the extra white, I'd say that this upper body, if you just had a photo of this, would be an absolute winner. It's just a shame that everything else is going to be hidden in the back. And again, those accessories, by which I mean the weapons, just so-so. But for height comparison, if you thought that his little extra parts on his legs was going to bulk him out, or those bulkier chest parts, not so much when you compare him to the big boys. But at the same time, I really got to say that those tiny little pieces of clear red on the front are definitely the best eye catch so far. So in addition to the Universe Booster, there's lots more to talk about with this kit, so stick around, there'll be one more part with the Star Build Strike out in all of his colorful glory. Don't forget to let me know what you think of this part, this Gundam, this MS, this mecha design, and all of the above. Anyway, always love to hear from you, everybody. Thanks for watching, and stick around for lots more. See ya!